It's trash day, I'm putting you out, it's trash day. Putting you out, it's trash day. Putting you out of my mind. It's trash day, I'm putting you out, it's trash day. I'm putting you out, trash day. I'm putting you out of my mind. Now I'm gonna clean up, now I'm gonna clean up, now I'm gonna clean up the house. I'm taking all your garbage, taking all your garbage, taking all your garbage.
It starts with some beer, so you shouldn't have fear. Two garbage guys with facts, but they both still have tact. It's that time at last for the best damn podcast. It's Can Crusher Day!
And welcome to another Can Crusher Spotlight. I am your host, Mark Martinez, and I'm having a beer during this Can Crusher Spotlight because it's been one of those days. But this Can Crusher Spotlight is with Ray Lyn. Ray Lyn has been, we've been friends for a while. We met at International Wrestling Cartel, IWC as we like to call it, all the time in Pittsburgh. She was a little dastardly for a while. There's my quota with her husband, Dylan. But she's worked her ways into our hearts, and we've just really clicked. We've been trying to do this Can Crusher Spotlight for a while, as you'll hear her bring it up in the interview. And guys, there's a little bit of random sounds. That's because Ray Lyn is going about 125 miles an hour to her next event because she's so damn busy. This is a fun interview. We bounce all over the place with her career that started in OVW, which, hey, we love OVW, to where she is now in women's wrestling as a superhero. Guys, make sure you listen to this. This is great. We love Ray Lyn, and hopefully we can have her on more and actually get her subdued so we can have her in front of the mic and not going 120 miles. No, she really wasn't going that fast. It's just the Bluetooth and the windows and all of that. I don't want to get Ray Lyn into trouble, but the interview is coming up right after this message from our great sponsor, Collar and Elbow. We love you. Hats, hoodies, sweats, tees. You hear it all the time. And when you check out, type in OVW for an extra 10% off.
Wrestling. A love and a passion we all share. I've started a wrestling brand. The wrestling brand. A brand founded on the aspects of wrestling. Two entities working together to create a product that connect emotionally for people everywhere. Collar and Elbow is the brand. Passion and love for wrestling is the drive. I am Al Snow, and this is Collar and Elbow, the wrestling brand.
And welcome back to Can Crushers. We are pretty much on the road with Ray Lyn as she's driving back from an event that she's just all over the place. Welcome to Can Crushers, Ray Lyn.
Hey there, how you doing today?
Good. So where are you coming from right now? Because I know you're just busy. You are all over the place.
Well, I was just doing something that's kind of low-key. I can't really talk about it right now, but I am on my way home. Not everything I do I can put out in the public until it happens, so this is one of those times.
This is actually your second time on Can Crushers. We did a little after the match interview with you, and that's exactly the way that you started the last one, that you can't say anything.
I'm always up to something, even if it might not seem like it. I just know from things that have happened in the past, I don't like saying what my next move is because you never know if things happen. And wrestling changes. The card is always subject to change, right?
It is. Yeah, and I don't want to get you in trouble. I thought maybe you were just saying, hey, I'm coming back from the grocery store or whatever, but that's okay. That's all right.
Nope, I'm always up to no good. So just know that.
Yeah, no kidding. So let's rewind a little bit, and fans that don't know much about Ray Lyn, let's take them on the whole story, and I'm talking about little Ray Lyn. Who got you involved into wrestling? Was it dad, grandpa, a cousin? I mean, Super Hentai said it was a sister, for the love of God. So,
the reason I started wrestling wasn't because when I was a little kid. I did grow up with all guys. We did watch wrestling, but I didn't watch wrestling through high school. I didn't watch it until I was in my 20s again. I was bartending at a local sports bar, and the guys came in and they watched it on Monday nights, and I got into it, and that's pretty much whenever I started wrestling.
wow, that's a fast story. That is just like, yep, it's on TV and I liked it.
Yeah, Cliff Notes. It's actually a really long story, but we'll just do the Cliff Notes today.
That's good. So when you were watching it at the bars and everything with the guys, who were some of your favorites? You were probably watching the Monday Night Wars, right?
When I was bartending?
Yeah.
So this would have been like 2009, 2010.
Okay, not the Monday Night Wars.
No. Yeah, that's a little bit. That was more when I was in like middle school and elementary school. So yeah, that was a bit ago. So no, it was like Randy Orton and John Cena were super huge at the time.
Okay. So I know your trainers, and I know a little bit about everything else, but where and who were your trainers?
So I studied at Ohio Valley Wrestling. My original trainer was Nick Dinsmore. And then after I finished the beginner's class, I moved on to the intermediate class. A man named Frank Miller and Al Snow were my teachers then. And I still trained with Nick a little bit until he got signed with NXT as a trainer there.
Did you have any work with Rip Rogers as well in OVW?
I worked with Rip later, but not really, because Rip was not allowed to teach the women's class at that time because he had misbehaved.
Right. Well, okay. Right. So since you've been at OVW right off the get, you've been on weekly episode TV. How is that right from the beginning? You know, some people it takes years to get there. Here's you, boom, right on TV as a youngster.
Well, it's a good thing and a bad thing. Whereas I wasn't really developed as a wrestler, people saw me with all the struggles, right? So people would be like, oh, well, she's not very good, but they weren't taking into consideration that I had only been wrestling for 3 months, training-wise. So you do your beginner's training, and after 3 months, you're thrown right into the ring for TV. So you're fed to the wolves. So it's kind of like sink or swim. So it's like I said, it's really good because like I was right on TV and I got instant exposure, but it was really bad because I wasn't completely developed as a wrestler or character yet.
But do you think, I'm going to really fast forward now, but do you think that helped you before, because now you're on, your alter ego is on Women of Wrestling. Did you think that prepared you right off the get for that though, knowing with, going back a couple years, I got this?
Yeah, I've worked on TV since day one, so I've always known how to work TV, and I've always known that character was really important, and I know what angles they hit. So yeah, it helped out a lot, but at the same time, when I went out onto the indies after OVW, I had no clue what I was getting myself into. Whereas we would have a 5-minute match, like I went onto the indies and they'd be like 12 minutes, and I wouldn't know what to do. Like I didn't know, I had no idea, and I didn't know who I was because I was so used to being so micromanaged and having an agent and all that. And then when you go out into the indies, like you have creative control. And I'm like, what do I do now? So it's definitely, I've learned so much. I've been to so many places and I've learned from so many different people. So it's been good. It's definitely been helpful for my TV because not only have I done that, I've done Impact, I've done WWE, I've been on Ring of Honor a handful of times. So it really did prepare me for what was ahead in my future.
Yeah, and you pretty much segue perfectly for me. You have worked with the who's who of people. This is just a touch of people that people like say, oh my God, I know there's a lot more. You have Britt Baker, who is now with All Elite. You have Crazy Mary Dobson, who is Sarah Logan. Heidi Lovelace, who's Ruby. Angel Dust, Tessa, Marty Bell. My favorite, and I just found this out recently, you worked with Thunder Rosa, who I think is amazing. Mickey James, Shayna Baszler. What kind of stories do you have there? Because that is kind of a who's who of women right now.
I mean, I'm really lucky to have got to wrestle with such women like Mickey James. Like, I wrestled Mickey James. That's one of the coolest things. That was one of the best moments of my career. I was only like a year or two in, so I was super green, but wow, it's just, like, I think back and I think of how lucky I am. Whenever I start getting kind of like, you get down on yourself in this business, and it's easy to do because, you know, you're trying so hard to get yourself to this position. And then I look back and I realize that not everyone has had the opportunities that I have.
Yeah, and
so it's pretty cool.
You started at OVW. You came up east and it's Pittsburgh with IWC. You've became well known there. You and your husband, who moved out to California for a while. So let's talk about California for a little bit.
Well, California was pretty awesome. That's basically what set me up to be on WOW Wrestling. We moved out there. We struggled a bit because it is a difference. It's a huge difference, East Coast to West Coast. I learned so much there. My roommate, Peter Avalon, fantastic wrestler. If you ever have time to look him up, look him up. He's PP Ray, him and his tag partner, they're just amazing. Yeah, look them up if you get a chance. So I got to train with him. He was great. Someone saw me wrestling on Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. Dan Masters. He was doing ring announcing at the time. He saw me wrestle at Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. He gave me Dave McLean, who is the owner of WOW Wrestling, him and Jeannie Buss. He gave me this email and he said, hey, message them. We have a show this Friday. So I messaged them and I didn't think I was going to hear anything back because it was kind of short notice. They're like, yeah, we'd love to have you. So I had what they had was Friday Night Fights at the time. It was at a hotel in Long Beach. It was awesome. I wrestled Malaya Husaka, who is also incredibly awesome. She's been around for a while. She's a vet, and she's really good at what she does. I got to wrestle her. We had a fantastic match, and then, like, the rest was from there. It was like I was on all their shows, and then they put me on their TV, and we're getting ready to record another season. So I mean, I look at every single move I made because not only did I live in California, I lived in Detroit, I lived in Indianapolis, I lived in Kentucky. Like, people don't realize all the places I've been and everything I've done. But every little thing I've done, even if at the moment it was like, wow, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? It set up for something different that was going to happen in my career, and I had no idea what was going to happen.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
Yeah, everything happens for a reason. If it's a one match off in Nashville or something, something's going to come out of it, right?
Exactly. And then that takes me to, like, Rise. I took a chance on doing a Rise seminar, and I ended up being on their Rise roster now. And from that, I got to do Impact. And, you know, it's like, if you invest in yourself, if you take time and invest in yourself, other people will notice.
Ray Lyn, I'm telling you, you're reading my notes. I was just going to bring up Rise and your partner, Bones of Contention, Karen Q, and when it came to Pittsburgh, how big it was. It got, a lot of us didn't know, I did, a lot of other people didn't know about Rise, and, you know, they partnered with IWC, and it just opened up more for the women. So talk about Rise and what it really has done for you, you know, a little bit more in depth.
So we took a chance. It was me, Britt Baker, and Zoe Sky, formerly Angel Dust. We all took a chance. We heard about this seminar through AIW. John Thorne told us, hey, this guy's doing this thing. It's the day before Shimmer. It's a tryout. And we're all like, do we want to do this? We've never heard of this company. Do we really want to take our time and do this? So we did. You know, we piled in the car. We all got a room. We split the cost, and we all went. And, like, it worked out for each one of us. Me, not so much the first time. They both got chosen on their first one. I didn't have is I took away a lot from it. Getting to see what the top women were doing inspires you to either give up or you push harder. So I saw what those top women were doing, and I knew that I had to take more time and put into my ring work. I wasn't where I needed to be. So I think about a year later, I decided to do the seminar again, and I did a fantastic job, and that's whenever me and Karen got paired up.
Right, and on that
call,
yeah, and that's an amazing tag team, by the way. That's I think where you were dastardly all the time when you would come out with your husband Dylan, but once you got the bones of contention, to me, that's where you like really became yourself, and that tag team is one of my favorites. You know, you're up there with his favorite tag teams, Rock and Roll Express, and everything. I mean, it's just they're fun. They are so fun.
We had a really good chemistry right off the bat. Like, we did not know each other at all. They threw us into this tag team, and we just made it work. Like, you can't fake that kind of chemistry. You either have it or you don't.
Right. The way that you guys played the crowd and everything, it was spot on. It really was.
I mean, it's easy because Karen's a performer and an entertainer and amazing in the ring, and I consider myself more of an entertainer, performer. My ring work is getting there, but I've always put myself as more of a performer first.
Yeah, you're a hell of a dancer. Let's just say that. So when you were at Rise, I want to stay there for a little bit, or Shimmer, you know, kind of partner them together. Tessa was there, Mercedes Martinez was there, Deonna Purrazzo were there, you know, names that or everybody knows. Did you pick their ear? Did you just get in their ear, or did you just sit back and watch what they were doing?
I'm more of a sit back and watch kind of person. I watch what people are doing. I mean, you can ask questions all day, but really what it comes down to is hard work.
Nice.
And that's what I noticed with the girls you named. It's the work they put in. It's the training they do. It's in the gym. It's all the shows they do. It's how much pride they take in their work. They don't want to have a mediocre match. Every time they get in the ring, they want to do their best and they want to up their game. And that's what I picked up from watching them.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, and that's sometimes it's better be shut up and sit in a corner like you are as a child and just listen and watch. I completely agree with that. So you won your first title. Your first title ever was against Nyla Rose. Am I correct?
Oh, shit. Yes. I think that was my first title. I had one early on in my career. I had won all these goofy titles in different places, but I think that was my first one. Yeah, Nyla, I'm going to take a second to talk about her real quick because she's just an incredible person. So me and Dylan go to this show in West Virginia, and they tell me that I'm wrestling her. And I'm just thinking, wow, the size, at that time I weighed maybe 105 pounds. I was small, right?
Right.
So I'm just like, oh man, I'm in for it tonight, right? So just her energy, she's another person that I feel has been way underrated, and I am so glad that she's getting this opportunity at AEW because she's been amazing to me. It was less than a year whenever I had met her. She also helped me get my foot in the door with Japan. A lot of people don't know that. So Nyla is pretty incredible.
Yeah, we'll get to the Japan stuff in a minute. As you said, you did Raw, and again, your Raw opponent was Nia Jax. What did you take from the Raw experience?
Well, in my life, I am always the underdog, always. anything I do, I had to fight for really hard. It was an amazing opportunity to be on Raw. It was a very short segment, and yeah, I got paid, so that's cool.
Okay, that's a good way of looking at it. Did you run into anybody backstage? You know, Sasha or Bailey or anybody that you kind of like just said hi to or anything, or was it just like in and out?
Well, yeah, you're backstage. You usually do the loop for like 2 days. So you get an opportunity to talk to everybody. Some people are really super cool and they'll sit there and give you some feedback and they're awesome. Like, especially the people that came off the indies. They're always there to give you their feedback and they're always very kind because they remember what it was like to be in your position. I remember, I think it was AJ Styles giving us feedback on a match. How cool is that? So it was a good experience. It was a good week.
Yeah, that had to have been phenomenal, right?
Yeah, yes.
So you also did, you've said all this, but I'm just reading my notes as we go. So you did 2 Impact shows, one against Tessa, one against, the name's dropping my head. Yeah, thank you, Taya. How were those? You made the trek up to Canada, correct?
No, I was in Vegas, actually.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I go to Vegas quite a bit. I have a really good friend there, and I wrestle there a bit. So it was really cool. It was a cool experience. I loved working with both of them. They're both at the top of their game. They're impressive female athletes. I mean, Tessa is an athlete. I would say, like, she's probably one of the top female competitors in the world right now. And so, Taya as well. Like, Taya is absolutely amazing. I would work with either one of them every single day of the week and be okay with that because they're both just, they're it. They're the it factor of women's wrestling right now.
Yeah, the Can Crushers ran across Tessa one of her first matches down by South Carolina. And, you know, Magnum was there, Tally was there, George South, her trainer, was there. And she is, not only a hell of a worker, but a sweetheart, too. Anything you see on TV, if Tessa's going to punch me in the face, she can. But she is such a sweetheart. She loves her fans.
I think she is a wrestler and in and out, like, she knows the business. I know a lot of people want to be like, oh, your dad's name, whatever, but that's not even it for her because she works so damn hard in the gym, training all the time, in the ring. Like, she's one of those people that put it all in the ring every single time she gets in there. And I respect the hell out of it. I really do.
So we're gonna continue on ROH. You have had several ROH shows now too. How do they all differ a little bit? You can talk however you want to about it, but how do they all differ just a little bit if you could touch on all of them?
So my first match was Kelly Klein. It was Kelly Klein's first match being Kelly Klein. You know, it was before she was the gatekeeper. It was her absolute first match in Ring of Honor. It was a very short match. She ate my lunch, and that was it, right?
Okay.
My second match was against 2 of my very good friends, the Twisted Sisters. My tag partner was Sam Heights. Me and Sam Heights started around the same time. We have tagged a few times at various independent companies. We have a lot of, I love Sam. Sam is amazing. That's another one. If you have time for Sam Heights, amazing. Or Sam amazing, I should say. So we tagged with sisters. I like that match. It was a lot of fun. A lot of people in that ring that have a lot of talent. So I really enjoyed that one. The last one meant a lot to me because I was in my hometown of Pittsburgh and it was against Kelly Klein. And I remember saying something to her in the beginning. I said, hey, this is how it started. You know, except for we started, I think our first show was in Dayton, which is ironic because I'm driving through Dayton as we speak. It was in Pittsburgh. My friends were there because my friends live up on Mount Washington and it was at Stage AE. So it was super cool. My friends got to see me wrestle on like a nice big platform, and yeah, it rocked.
Yeah, that stage, I'll stop and talk about stage A&E one. That is a hell of arena for ROH, NXT, anything like that. Like, they really maximize every ounce of space, and it's cozy, too. So everybody's, like, right on top of you, isn't it?
Yeah, I loved it. It's a great feel. Whenever me and Dylan used to go up to Canada all the time, we wrestled at this place called Super, and it was in a venue like that, but it was like a concert hall, and there were no railing up, and the fans would beat on the mat as you wrestled. Like, I just like that vibe. That's why I am the way I am as a performer. I feed off the crowd as much as they feed off me. I can't perform when it's quiet, so I just like that rock star vibe. That's me all the way.
So you would, Wrestle Circus is going to come back. You've heard about Wrestle Circus, correct?
Yeah, I bet some friends wrestle there. I've never had any contact with them, though.
That was one of the first ones where I saw they let you just beat the hell out of the ring, and I'm like, man, I wish somebody in Pennsylvania would do that just to give a different vibe of wrestling, because it's like a rock show.
So, PA has laws where you have to have guardrails.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
PA, right?
But I'm sure it can happen in West Virginia, so don't get your hopes too down. We're, literally right by the border.
Right, I know. So, all right, you've just returned from Japan about a month. You're finally getting reallocated to everything, aren't you?
It's actually it was a month a couple days ago. It's so hard. We were supposed to have this interview a few times. It's just getting I don't think people realize, whenever you're gone for a long period of time and you're doing something, it's really hard to adjust back. It was reality. You get home, I went back to work. I cut hair for a living. It's not like I have a hard job. I enjoy my job. I really like cutting hair, actually. So, but just, getting back into the flow of things, my sleep pattern was the hardest thing. I was waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning every single day and going to sleep at 6. So it was really hard for me to be normal. I had a hard time. I had to cancel some wrestling shows just because I could not reacclimate.
That 3 to 6 thing, that's also called a garbage man, by the way, too. So anytime that you wake up and you want to jump on the back of the garbage truck with me, let me know. I'll pick you up.
Oh, yeah, that's that lifestyle, huh? I'll bet that is time.
Yeah, it really is a lifestyle. It sucks, by the way. So let's dive into some of your matches in Japan. First, let me ask this question. Tell the listeners how the fans differ from Japan to over here in America.
The fans don't chant like they do in the U.S. They watch. They do cheer, which is a misconception. I think people think that the Japanese fans just sit there. They don't. They cheer for you. They take it. The fans are super cool. So, in the U.S., I think we talked about this because I had a problem with the guy before I left. He was upset because I was charging for photos, and I'm like, listen, dude, I'm trying to save up to pay all my bills while I'm in Japan, and he got really butthurt and put me on blast all over the internet. And in Japan, people aren't going to get upset if you charge them for a photo. They come up to you with money already in hand to take a photo with you. So I think the fans respect the wrestlers a little bit more. They know that we're doing this for our living, and we're doing this to get paid. Whereas in the U.S., I don't feel like people always understand that. They're like, oh, they're getting paid to do the show, but they don't think, well, not only are they doing the show, but they have to travel, they have to eat, they have to do this, Whereas in Japan, they understand more. There's definitely a level of respect in Japan that isn't in the U.S. Every single person, the fans help even clean out the arena after the show's over. Whereas in the U.S., we have to clean up after the fans. They leave garbage everywhere. In Japan, they pick up the garbage and they pick up around them before they leave, so there's not litter all over the ground. So it's just things like that. It was hard to come home to some of the things I see.
Yeah, and we'll get to the matches. You also did some sightseeing there. Guys, we're friends. We really are friends. You were all over the place. What were some of the cool places that you saw, and how many panda pictures did you get?
So the zoo at Ueno Park was probably one of my favorite places. I did get to see the pandas there. They're so cute, and there's a baby panda, so that was awesome. Ueno Park favorite, and then I really liked Harajuku. I love the shop, and they have really unique street fashion there. So I spent a lot of time shopping. I love the shop. Food was amazing. I didn't think I was gonna like the food. The meat's different. Some of those things are kind of weird. I'm happy to be home eating American food, but I have a craving for seaweed now, which is weird. I just need some seaweed in my life.
Oh, okay. What was?
And I went to Tokyo Disney. Tokyo Disney was incredible.
I'll get on Disney in a second. What was the weirdest thing you ate there?
NATO's disgusting. It's like sticky beans. I hated that. But I also ate tongue. I don't know what kind of tongue it was. Tongue is really hard to eat. It's very tough and not very chewy. And I also ate jellyfish. I ate a lot of weird things. I ate whatever they told me to eat. So.
So they
played this game. They would be like, Ray Lyn, challenge! And I'd be like, challenge accepted! And then I had to eat whatever they put in front of me.
You're a beast. You really are. You're 105 pounds and you'll take on the world. I love it. I really do.
I really will.
So let's talk about Disney. How was that experience? I'm so jealous of that. My goal is sometime to get to every Disney, and that one just looks so fun.
It was incredible. It's Disney. It's beautiful. They have this amazing electric parade at night with these light up floats. It really stood out to me. That was my favorite part. They spoke English there, which was nice because I hadn't got to speak English for a while. I did stay in a dormitory with mostly Japanese women that spoke very little English. So Disney was really cool. Everything. I would love to. I am going back. I'm going to go back. It's a thing. Well, next time I'm going to the sea adventure part of it.
That was my next question. Is there an opportunity? Is there something in the works that maybe you can not tell us, but hint that you're heading back to Japan soon?
It's in the works. We're not exactly sure when. It will be this year, but it's in the works.
Nice. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So let's talk about some of your matches. Anything that stands out that really just blew your mind in your matches over there? One or two is great.
I got to wrestle Satomura, Miko Satomura. She is a legend, right? So that was just mind-blowing, incredible. I wouldn't say wrestling was much different. We didn't speak the same language, but it didn't matter. It's like dancing. You just know. You either can wrestle or you can't. I really loved it there. The people I lived with and the matches I had. I wouldn't say that anything really stood out as a difference there. Like I said, wrestling is wrestling. It's a universal thing.
Okay. All right. That's fine. Next question is going to be... Okay.
Actually, I'm going to take that back. Whenever you are wrestling in your matches, your team, so whatever company I was there with Marvelous, your people are at the side. They're in your corner, so you can go over and get water during your match, and if you get hurt, they're immediately there with an ice pack. So that's nice. Your team's always in your corner, more like boxing or MMA.
So you get a 15-second timeout or whatever you need.
If you need it, yeah. Or if you, there's a lot of tag matches, so whenever you're done, when you tag out, you can put ice on or drink water, whatever you need to get ready to get back in.
Nice, and that's a good thing. It's all about health then as well, right?
Yes, taking care of your body, because you can't make money if your body's broken.
Right, exactly. You blew my mind on what I was going to say because I was shocked you were going to actually bring that up. Oh, that's it. I haven't seen you since you've returned, but have you changed any of your move styles up a little bit? Have you brought anything over from Japan that's now in your set?
Yeah, I know a lot more technical wrestling now, and as I didn't really do much technical wrestling before. I've always been a kicker. I have a background in martial arts, so I would say my striking has gotten better because we worked on striking a lot more. Whereas, like, here we did, like, I literally had, like, a striking class. We would have kick class and strike class. So, yeah. And then my cardio is just insane, so.
Yeah, the picture that I'm actually going to use up for this, your ribs, your 6-pack is a 12-pack or maybe even a case. You look phenomenal since you've come back. Your promotional pictures are amazing.
Oh, thank you. I actually put on a bit of size over there. I just ate. We trained so hard. All I did was eat and train and sleep. And then, you know, the occasional sightseeing.
The occasional sightseeing? That's a crock. It was sightseeing every day.
Oh, yeah, it is sightseeing every day. But I had like 2 days off a week where I would really like go and see stuff.
Right. All right. Let's transition to your alter ego now, as you did say you signed on for season 2 of WOW, and Chantilly. You're crazy, but Chantilly's the next level of crazy. How did that come about?
So David McLean, like I said, they found me in Hollywood. He saw some of the stuff I used to do with like the Miley Cyrus thing, the purple lipstick. He knew that I was really into going to like music festivals and concerts and stuff. And he's like, well, why don't you make that your character? I was like, I could. I mean, music is everything to me. There's wrestling and then there's music. I always wanted to be a rock star, and Chantilly Chella combines both of those into one character. So I love the vibes of that character. Whereas like in Pittsburgh, everyone always booked me like as a heel. I always had to be a bad guy, but in real life, I'm more about, like I said, the music. I'm about good vibes, good times, big fun. So it's cool to actually do a character that's more me than anything.
Miley Cyrus was a lot you, too, when you were little weaselly.
It is. So I can do either way. I know another thing I tell people, I've been a bartender. I'm a barber. I work in the service industry a lot, so I watch people, and I can play whatever character I ever need to play just because I watch people. I see what they do, and I always have to be nice. That's the thing. When you're in the service industry, you're living off tips, so you're nice to people. But whenever I get the chance to be mean, I get to say whatever I feel like I wanted to say to that person that was shitty with me, you know?
Right. Public's awesome. Let's just say that.
Yes.
So let's talk about the studio. I love the studio of WOW. Again, way before your time, but it reminds me of TBS wrestling on Saturday night. I love the studio. How's that make you guys all gel? Because you're right there.
It's incredible. The studio, like every time I look at the pictures and our videos that we get back from it and our vignettes, like everything about it is so cool. It's so next level. It is a different kind of wrestling. If you're tuning in and you're thinking you're getting like WWE, you're not. We're like a different level, I don't even know. It's just unique. It's its own product. And it's very exciting to be a part of something like that. It's something on TV that you really haven't seen in a long time. It does have the Glow feel, but with modern day wrestling.
The whole superhero thing is what it's about. You know, Glow was, my quotes, characters or whatever, but these are just you guys, or you women just supersized. Because I met Santana Garrett this weekend down at the Crockett Cup, and she's amazing. But then you throw her on the WOW scale, and she blows your mind.
Yeah, it's such a cool time right now in wrestling, and then we're all getting this platform. and we get these fun characters, and we have amazing costumes, and we get this fantastic makeup. We're well taken care of. Actually, I leave in a couple days to go out to LA, where we film our next season on the 16th. I think we start, and I get to go out there. The hair is going purple again soon. It's really cool. It's definitely superstar, next level stuff, like I said.
Yeah, guys, and self-promotion for them. It's on the Access Network. If you don't have it, damn it, find a way. I dropped my one TV provider just so I could get access for New Japan and WOW. And Access is working well for you guys. They really are.
Oh, they're incredible. They're really working with us. They're giving us the promotional tools we need. They're investing in us. And it's so cool for a company like that to be investing in us.
Yeah. So
and I don't know if you know, Jeannie Buss was one of the original owners, and it's badass. She's a woman who owns a basketball team, right? So just having another woman invest in us too that believes in us, I don't know.
Yeah, and a powerful.
I get choked up.
A powerful woman too. I mean, I'm not saying like any woman. You know, there's women that own things, but she is. You say Jeannie Buss in the sports industry, everybody knows her. She is amazing.
Yeah, and she is so. I remember I had a match and I snuck out to see some of my friends because like I lived there and they all came to see me wrestle. And I snuck out and I was talking to them and I saw her walk up behind me and she was like, Chantilly, you are one of my favorite characters. She's like, you're small, you're the underdog, but she's like, you have so much fight in you. And when she said that, I was like, I got tongue-tied. I got choked up. I was just like, this is incredible. This is my life. Like, what is life? It was so cool.
And you to get tongue-tied is amazing within itself.
Yeah.
All right. I was going to ask your favorite animal just to give you some panda time, but we've covered that, how you love pandas. So
yeah, they're pretty awesome.
So what's from here? There's so much going on. I mean, I don't want to say what is your goal, because everybody's goal is, to be number one, this, that, and the other thing, make money, but where do you see, Ray Lyn going now? You have WOW coming up. You have everything else in the works. I mean, what else can you tell us?
I don't know. I don't know what's next, and it's kind of weird. Like I said, I came back from Japan, and I'm in a weird transitional stage right now in my career. I don't actually have – I've hit, like, every goal I wanted except for one. So we'll see. I don't know. I'm open to anything, and I'm just going to keep working hard, and I'm going to keep pushing and see what happens. If it all ended tomorrow, I'd be happy, and I'd be satisfied with what I've done so far.
Excellent.
So, we'll see.
All right, now the three questions I pretty much ask everybody. This is the way we wrap everything up to bring it back. Mount Rushmore of wrestling. I want... You're the first woman that I've asked this, so give me your Mount Rushmore of wrestling for men and then for women. Or do you want to do it? Do it combined. Do it combined. I'll make you do it combined.
My top four favorite? Is there four on Mount Rushmore?
Yes, dear.
Okay. Macho Man, Eddie Guerrero, Mickie James. Can I get one more? This is going to be such a hard choice because I got to put another woman up there. Oh. All right, let's go with Mae Young.
Excellent. That's. I'm glad you threw. Macho Man. If we're gonna say older Eddie, but you went deep with Mae Young, and that's well played. Well played.
So I go back and I watch old wrestling. It's something Rip always told me to do. He always says, what's old is new. Everyone's doing and we're in a day where everyone's doing everything and everyone's good at everything. So I like to go back and just watch Fabulous Moolah and Mae Young and the women back then and see what they were doing because they started this. Oh, God, how could I forget? I have to put Medusa up there. I'm adding another head.
Okay, that's fine.
Adding another head because she's so incredible, and she deserves to be up there.
She is.
5 heads.
You have 5 heads. That's fine. It's McRae Mount Rushmore.
Yes.
I actually got to speak with Medusa this weekend as well, and oh my God, she's not only did I love her as a wrestler, but just speaking, behind the curtains and everything, she's a wonderful human being as well.
She is. She's one of those people, like, I've met her a few times, but if I ever have a question, like, she follows most of the female wrestlers on, like, Twitter and Instagram, so I can shoot her a message, and she always responds. She always gives me some advice. So I just find that incredible. She wants to see women succeed.
Yeah, she made a point to saying that, actually, this weekend. Why Randy Savage?
How can you not? He just had the most charisma. He was such a hard worker. When I think of wrestling, I think of Macho Man.
I'm not disagreeing with you because he's on my Mount Rushmore as well. He's my all-time favorite wrestler. He's the one that brought interviews to the light, I think, before anybody else. The cream of the crop, all that.
He really is. He's over the top. He had that character, but he could also go in the ring.
Correct. All right, so your dream match against anybody, who would it be and where would it be?
I wouldn't have I don't know if I have a where would it be. I don't have a where would it be. And my dream match, it would be cool to wrestle Medusa. She isn't doing that anymore, but if it was in her days, that would be really cool.
Madison Square Garden? Isn't that everybody's dream at least a little bit?
I mean, that's super cool, but like I said, as long as I'm wrestling, I'm happy.
Okay. All right. So you're an OVW and you're sitting back and you're learning and you want to ask so many questions, but now we're fast forwarding. What do you tell the youngsters?
I tell them to find a credible trainer. There's a lot of people out there calling themselves trainers who just don't have the background to back it up. Safety is so important. You want to have a long, lengthy career. And then I also tell people, just because you've debuted doesn't mean you quit training. You also always be training. If you want something, you don't just quit. Football players don't get signed to the NFL and then never train again, So if you're having matches, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't be at training every week.
Right. That's well said. All right, Ray Lyn, so tell everybody where they can find your million Facebook, Instagram, and everything.
Well, I only have a personal Facebook, so don't find me on there because I will not add you back. I have my Instagram account, which is Raystar5, RAYSTAR 5. I have my Twitter. It's at Ray, RAY_LYN. I also have my 2 accounts on Twitter and Instagram for Chantilly, and those are in my bio. So you can just click on those if you want to find out what Chantilly's up to.
Being a rock star, right?
Being a rock star, 24/7.
Ray Lyn, thank you. I'll let you get back to paying attention to the road as you're a little bit past Dayton, Ohio now. I will see you soon, I'm sure. But thanks for coming on Can Crushers.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Ray Lyn hit the nail right on the head. You do not stop training. Those are 2 huge pieces of advice that are looked over. One, with the trainer. You should be accredited. You really should know that your trainer is going to have your back and so on and so forth. Thus, I will give my plug into Al Snow Wrestling Academy. Guys, don't forget OVW is having their combine. It's coming up real soon. It is June 1st. Go to www.aswa.live if you want to sign up. It's Al Snow Wrestling Academy, and you can get to the Combine. You'll make it on Can Crushers Live Facebook, because we're going to be down there. But the other one is you don't stop training. You don't stop training. You know, baseball's another passion of mine that you don't give up. You know, baseball players aren't signed into the majors instantly. You know, they have to go through the minor leagues. And then in the minor leagues, they continue to practice. Once they make it to the major leagues, there's hitting practice, there's pitching practice, there's still practice. So, and not being like Allen Iverson, training's very important. And Ray Lyn said it perfectly. Guys, are you excited for Season 2 of WOW? I really am. If you have not seen it, get on demand on any of your networks, any of your TV providers, or check them out. Some of them are on YouTube that you can find, but they are so good. You just get to see women's wrestling pretty much at its best. WOW has, I'm going to name names that are out there that you guys will know. Some of you might not know the superhero names. There's Santana Garrett on there. There's Ray Lyn on there. Tessa Blanchard's on there. With those three within itself right there, why the hell aren't you watching it? But there's so many more. Make sure you check it out. And again, thanks to Ray Lyn for being on Can Crushers. We'll be seeing Ray Lyn real soon and everything. Follow her on all her social medias. She's a hoot. She really is. So remember, just because you're trash doesn't mean you can't do great things. It's called a garbage can, not a garbage cannot. Have a great weekend, guys. Talk to you on Wednesday with the normal show.